One of the biggest psychological challenges in trading is managing your emotions. Fear, greed, and overconfidence can all lead to poor decision making and costly mistakes. To become successful traders, we must learn how to keep our emotions in check and stay disciplined. Hey there, Tamir from FIBONACCI'S.com here with the daily market recap. Please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, and without any further ado, let's see the charts. CPI numbers came out, lower than expectations. Market reaction went all the way up to this yellow trend line, got rejected and stayed throughout the trading day in this area of the 437, 435. But the most important thing is trend lines gives us the true support resistance for price action and roadmap for future price action. This yellow trend line, we all know it because we drew it several weeks, several months already. And as we can see, this yellow trend line helps us to identify the higher highs, holding resistance for the higher highs. And also today, CPI or no CPI, trend lines are the true roadmap for future price action. Now let's see where price will take us after FOMC rate decision Thursday. We have here this gap at the 434, some kind of a pullback, will be very healthy for the SPY. 421 is the support that needs to hold, otherwise we are going to retest and fill this gap at the 422 to the downside. QQQ, Doji, very tight price range, but above this yellow trend line, above the 357. Now the 357 together with this yellow trend line is our support. 365, next resistance. Above 365, we are going towards 376. All we have to do is understand the true relationship between candlestick analysis, aka price action, Fibonacci levels, and trend lines. Once we truly understand the in-depth relationship between those three, we can become our own indicator, and with high probability we can understand where price might be heading next, and according to the levels and trend lines we can manage properly our risk. Dow Jones continuing to the upside, gave back half, 50% of all the today's gains, but 340 to the upside is now our support. 340, look left, very tough resistance, so now clearly it will become our support. Also this area of the 344, 345 is a very tough resistance. Look left, draw a line where price came from and why it's here now. Because it was a very tough resistance. As you can see, January 2023, February, and now once again got rejected. 340 to the downside, needs to hold. IWM 188 is the 618 Fibonacci retracement. We have downtrend retraced, 618, 188. Now let's see, 184 to the downside, needs to hold, otherwise we are going back, retesting the 181. Continuation up, we are going towards 193, and in my opinion 200 will be next. All depends on market reaction for the FOMC rate decision on Thursday. Until then, expect not much of a movement in the markets. XLB, very interesting price action. We are watching this ETF to break above the 82 area, then we are going towards the 84, 85 area. Very tough resistance. Above it, in my opinion, 91.35 will be next. We have a double bottom scenario on the XLB of the 74. Now all we need is continuation above the 82.40, and we will use the levels as our risk management. XLE, energy ETF, nothing much, trying to bounce, but if we look left, all we need is Look left. Why price is holding resistance at 82.40? Look left. It was a very important level of support over here. Support over here. Tough resistance over here. So, not surprising. 82.40 is a very tough resistance once again. Breaking up and above, we are going to fill the gap at the 83.70. Above it, if we are lazy, we can take Fibonacci. Above this one, we are going to fill the gap at the 83.70, then 85.20, 87.80. Follow price, look left, where price came from, where it is now, and then you can try to understand why it's now here and where it might be heading next with high probability. Nothing is 100% bulletproof, but once again, candlestick analysis, aka price action, together with trend lines and Fibonacci levels, this is all a trader needs. We have this trend line over here, as we can see, high, lower highs, and now this purple trend line together with this area of the 82, 83, very tough resistance. Ethereum, basically moving sideways above the 1700s, very important level of support, resistance. So now it's holding a support, breaking down and under. Where Ethereum might be heading next? No need to guess. We have Fibonacci tells us next support will be the 1600s. 1790 together with this red trend line. Now it's becoming a tough resistance. We can take this trend line. And here we are. We have lower lows, lower highs, which means we are in a downtrend. It's only candlestick analysis. It's technical analysis, not rocket science. Don't overcomplicate it. Bitcoin, you know this yellow trend line. You know all these trend lines. Yellow trend line holding a support. But Bitcoin is in a downtrend until proven otherwise. Short-term downtrend since April. Still downtrend until proven otherwise. What does it mean? This white trend line needs to get break up and above at least a week or two above this white trend line. Then we may start thinking about an uptrend. But until then, Bitcoin is sliding down on this red trend line. Tesla, as we said, 250, 260 during this week. If you saw last week's weekly review, we said 260, 250 is incoming this week, and here we are, 258 inside this gap. 262 gap will get filled sooner than you think. Then we have this gap to the downside, the 235. Let's see how Tesla will act during this week. All we have to do, follow price. XBI, another interesting ETF, price action. Trend lines helps us to identify we are in an uptrend. Now we are waiting for continuation above the 90.60 towards 92.84, and then we are going towards this upper green trend line. Jets, massive move in the past few days or so, since beginning of June, 2 weeks of a very bullish run, breaking up and above this purple trend line. This purple trend line, as you can see, goes all the way towards backwards March of 2021. Each and every time price got rejected until last week. Now let's see continuation above the 2030. This area will be a very tough one for the bulls of Jets, because look here, January and February and March earlier this year, very tough resistance. Also very important support during January throughout May of 2022. So with high probability, this 2034 will be a very tough resistance. Long continuation above it towards 2124. Above 2124, in my opinion, 24 will be next. Apple. Bulls of Apple are not giving up. They don't want to close this gap at the 176 to the downside, but we do have a double top scenario on Apple over here. This area of the 184, 185, tough resistance. 181 needs to hold, otherwise we are going towards 179. Below this one, in my opinion, this gap will get filled. Below this gap, we are going back towards 170. Above 185, 194 will be the next resistance for future price action on Apple. Microsoft, as you can see, 338, 337, no need Fibonacci, no need any other indicator to look left and see that the 335, 337, all this area is a tough resistance. All this area since end of May, tough resistance. Breaking up and above, next will be the 344. Why? Look left. Here, during December of 2021, above it, 350, all-time highs. Below 330, we are going towards 322. Below 322, we are going to fill the gap at the 316. Only by looking left, where price came from and where it might be heading next according trend lines, support resistance. AMD, double top scenario of the 130, 118 needs to hold, otherwise we are going towards the 108 gap. Below the 108, we are going towards the 97. We do have here double top scenario on AMD. Let's see if bulls of AMD, if bulls of the semis can negate this double top by continuation up towards 184 to the upside. Nvidia moving inside this box since earnings gap. 372, 373 to the downside needs to hold. Otherwise, bears of Nvidia will wake up full power to pull price towards the 306. So bulls of Nvidia needs to hold at least the 370 and break up and above the 420 to the upside. Where Nvidia might be heading next, we can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, and as we can see, 390 together with this green trend line. Below it, 372, 373 to the downside. Below it, we have all the levels to the downside as future support. Above 420, we are going towards 460 and maybe by the end of this year, 518. Netflix, trend lines are the true support resistance and future roadmap for price action. This red trend line from resistance to support towards this red trend line. This red trend line, support, support, open gap, resistance. Not surprising. Above this red trend line, we are going towards this red trend line, and then we can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, 452, and then 500 to the upside. Amazon basically moving inside this yellow uptrend channel. We drew this channel, both channels, the yellow and the red ones, we drew several weeks ago, and here we have it. Trend lines gives us the roadmap for future price action. And as long as Amazon price holding above this lower yellow trend line, we're good to go. Long on Amazon towards this red trend line. Above it, we will meet the upper yellow trend line. Google. Before we talk about Google, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends. If you find anything that you like on this video, will be much appreciated. Also, check the links in the description below for more educational resources. We have the Fibonacci Academy playlist. We have the newsletter. We have Discord. We have 60 minutes crash course. We have the Fibonacci online course, 6 hours, 49 lessons. And of course, we have the one-on-one live mentorship program, lifetime access for support, guidance, 24/7, almost 24/7 support, guidance, and of course all Discord channels will be open lifetime until you will say, I don't need anyone, I can do it by myself, I can trust myself, because Fibonacci Traders programs gives you all the tools that you need to become your own indicator on the technical side, and most importantly on the psychology behind trading. Google, 121 to the downside, still holding. Below it we are going 118. Long continuation above 126 towards 133 to the upside. Meta, also double top scenario of the 277. 265 needs to hold. Below it we are going to the 257 together with this white trend line. Shopify still fighting with the 66. Massive double top on Shopify. Too many double tops I see now. Double top is a very bearish scenario, but it's still early. Shopify needs to hold above the 60 area. Below it we are going towards this blue trend line together with the 53. Below 53 we are going with high probability to close the gap at the 48. Let's see if Shopify bulls have enough power to negate this double top and break above the 66 towards 69, 73, above 73.80. We are going to retest the blue trend line together with the 80 area. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, will be much appreciated. Don't forget to check the links in the description below for more educational resources. Until the next video, do good things.